What is going on, our beautiful people?
What's
What's
up?
up,
What's
Yanko?
up?
Chilling.
Yes. Welcome, people. Welcome to
Welcome to another
episode
episode of For No
80. That's
Reason,
right.
where Yanko and Kerri Lewis show up and have conversations on anything, nothing, and everything in between.
Yes.
Literally, when we talk about
Right.
Nana.
Well, sometimes that happens, like a side effect,
Ah!
nothing planned, but I'll
Nothing
keep you on your
planned.
toes. Yeah, nothing
So
planned
what's
as
going on in
usual.
your world this week?
I'm just excited. There isn't a whole much going on, but sometimes I'm kind of comfy with that. Because, like, I don't want to be swinging too much to one way or the other way. So it's all right. If something
Yeah.
comes in, it comes in. And if it doesn't, it doesn't. But I'm enjoying the season. The leaves are falling off. My little guy had a um, homework to collect different colors of leaves. So we did that. We
I
went on
love
nature.
that.
Yeah, and we collected different leaves in different colors, and we got some that are half discolorated, some green, some yellowish. Really, really weird way how nature presents itself. So, yeah.
Oh, I love nature. It just, everything's cyclical and nature inherently serves because I'm a visual. I'm all about the visuals, Yanko. I wanna see it. And so nature inherently is an every moment reminder to me to be present, to let go of just really let go of anything. And that life is colorful, right? There's times and seasons for everything, and to grasp nothing. So I love nature, and I love fall because I love watching the leaves fall. It's like getting rained on with leaves.
Well, not only that, but if you like me, he haven't done that this year yet. But him going into the leaves and kind of diving in and just trying to swim in the leaves, it's kind of funny to watch.
Oh, listen, I'm all about playing. You know me. I'll
Yeah,
have a snowball
yeah,
fight. I'll have a leaf fight. I'll just
yeah,
throw
yeah.
mud because why not?
Of course. I
It's
mean,
whatever
sure.
whatever suits my fancy.
Yeah, yeah. So that's pretty much it. Like, I won't even say that I'm living life. It's like life it's living through me, or
I
I'm
like that.
there is the experience of life.
Yeah.
Like you said, it's like a remembering or remembrance of, oh, that's how fall feels like. You have the smell of the leaves, and birds going around, people are peopling and doing their things, running around the park.
Yeah. It's beautiful to
So
see.
yeah, it was that great at that moment. It was just, I was super present. Like, speaking of that, just being in the one, in experiencing everything, it was so joyful.
Yeah.
Tears were falling down my cheeks. It was just like, yeah, moments like that.
I love that. So, the 2 days ago, I drove 4.5 hours up to Bangor, Maine with my oldest daughter and her best friend so that they could catch their favorite band playing because they're not gonna tour. And then I meditated and slept in the car while I waited for them to get out, and then I drove back. And it was beautiful. Like, the fact that I could be present with 2 teenagers, super excited to be able to go see the band that they really love and have the opportunity to go for a ride during the fall, looking at the foliage as we're driving. It was, oh, I was in the car crying too. And it's so funny because I said to the girls, like, listen, if I cry, don't be alarmed. It's just me, being in the experience and appreciating it. But because Julia and Bella are younger, I really like to preface that because that can feel scary for them because I'm there, I'm Julie's
I
mom
mean,
and
I don't feel scared for anybody. It's kind of like that. I think we as a society, we've been being taught to keep our emotions in check and not
yes.
really be able to express emotion. And that's a
Yep.
huge thing. I realized that, anytime emotion comes over you or anything you associate with it, you try to shove it down, be whatever you want to or have to be. Like usually, especially for men, I say men don't cry, so yeah, it's weird for people. Like sometimes my wife, it's like, why are you crying? What's wrong with you? What's going on? Is there something going on? And I'm like, why would something has to be going on if if I'm in joy? How would you know you're not inside my body? you
Yeah.
know, you don't
Yeah.
have to cry from like something that makes you feel um, sad or weak or whatever. You can. That's just how the body express itself. You can be enjoy it and have that side effect.
Well, I also think it's interesting to see that individuals feel like they need to fix it when they see people crying. Oh, is there something I can do? Or what's wrong? Good
Good
morning,
morning.
Bonnie. We
Yeah,
appreciate you
hi.
joining. Feel free to share your thoughts. But
Yep,
yeah, so interesting in that people can't. So, you know what I love about Nana? So, offline, we were talking about my meditation and the energy that I'm releasing and stuff and my own practices. Nana had gone out to get me a salad and I was in deep meditation, and in that meditation, like, I was sobbing. And Nana ended up walking in, and all he did was sit and he hugged me. He didn't ask me what was wrong. He didn't try to fix it. He didn't do anything. And he said, "Baby, your salad's ready when you're ready." And that to me is a beautiful gift he gives me because we have this understanding that I can be fully expressed. You don't need to fix me. You don't need to change me. You don't need to
that's
save
right.
me. His ability to bear witness to my experience is a gift that I hope all people are able to tap into, because being able to have somebody witness you without trying to change your experience is
That's
so
right.
profoundly intimate.
That's right. Just showing up and say, "Hey, I'm here if you want me to."
Yeah.
You know, like I don't need to fix you. You're doing something. I don't know what it is. It might be joyful. It might be painful for you. I don't know. I'm not gonna make an assumption. But hey, I'm here if you need me. So
Yep.
let me know. The salad is ready.
Yeah. That's exactly. And he went downstairs and made rice, and when I was ready, I went down and we started talking about anime. And that's the other thing. So often people cling to an experience that happened an hour ago and they keep perpetuating it. Whereas me, I could literally go through a range of emotions, anger, fear, sadness in my meditation, and be as happy as a clam to jump on this show and be like, "What's popping?" And seriously be happy. I don't have to take in what I just went through here, because that was a moment in which I was present and experiencing things, and now I'm here and I'm having this experience.
This is so great that you're bringing it up because it's actually what meditation it's about. Not reacting, but just observing how your body feels or emotions and thought sensations, whatever it's going on in your body. And at the beginning, people think that because of the thinking mind that they have to be productive of whatever program they have going on, and when they sit idle and do nothing and just because they think it's nothing, but it's not really nothing. The body functions, other things are going on. There is like a mental energy moving through your brain, other things are going on. um, so when you get to a certain point, when you start realizing that those are just things that are happening, like the sun rising and setting,
Yep.
you're just being, and you watch what the body does, and you don't take it, you don't claim it, and yeah, that's what you do. So
Well,
that's a
it's
little more down the road of like starting some kind of practice.
yeah, and I was just having this conversation with my best friend yesterday because I hear so many people tell me they have a monkey mind, they need to escape their monkey mind, they need to escape their monkey mind. And what I shared with her, and this is just my understanding, it's not that I don't have thoughts. I just don't attach to them. It's like me watching the raindrops outside. You don't see me
Hmm.
running after every raindrop as it falls onto the ground. I bear witness to it. I don't have an emotional attachment. Well, maybe I'll go dance in it, right? So, to that point, sometimes I do dance with my thoughts, but the work in meditation is not to resist anything. It's not to judge anything. It's not to try to change it. It's just to
Right.
be present with it. And as you're present with it, it gives you insights, right? About beliefs that you might have picked up that don't serve you, about habits that may have outgrown. But that's it. And you don't have to take action if you don't want to. It's just an observation.
That's right. Yeah. It happens to everyone.
Yeah, like, and that's what I
But
really go
I,
ahead.
I wanna I wanna open expand a little more on that. There is different types of minds because everyone is different, and everyone it's abroad in a different environment. And what works for one person doesn't mean it's going to work for somebody else. And really depends on the mind or how their upbringing was done. There's different methods. There was I think in some of the practices from me there's 112 different methods to go around the mind or get the idea of like that the mind is not you, or your feelings are not your feelings, and the body is not your body. Um and and so it doesn't have to be that way. There's practices where mantra can stop the thought of repeating
Yep,
something. You're just replacing the mind thoughts with something else. You're filling it with, because usually the mind works the same way as the body. Whatever food you put in, if you put crap food in your body, the body will be crap. And so it's the same with the mind. If you put crap in the mind, then there will be crap mind. So if you fill it with nothing but a mantra or something that's, it doesn't have any power, it's just nonsensical. It's just something that keeps on going. It's like, oh, you want to be the monkey? You want to run around? Here is something to run around with. So go, repeat that.
you know what?
Or
I love that you bring that up because 2 things. 1, I 100% that is pretty much why you and I both don't have programs. I can't stand programs, like, because there's 8 billion different people. How can I know what's gonna work for an
exactly.
individual, right? Just being present in the
Mhm.
moment, right, is the healing. But also, to your point, going back to going to Bangor, Maine with my daughters. They got out of the concert at 11 and now I'm driving 4 hours back. It's late. I spent much of that time when my body started to feel tired sending out love to people or saying a mantra. I said Om 108 times. So I trained my brain to focus on what I wanted to focus on rather than, and this is important for me. Now, I can't speak for anybody else, but when I'm tired, right, my thoughts can get more sloppy because I just generally have a tendency to bring up fear-based thoughts more when I'm tired. And so instead of feeding the fear, I just make choices that feel really good. I'm just like Om, or I'm sending love to, and I go through a litany of people, and then I'll focus on the leaves or whatever it is. And in doing that, I stay present in the moment and I'm not feeding a story that's just really a story, but I missed because I was tired and I just got sloppy. Does that, you
Yeah,
know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah. In like I was talking about, it starts with the realization that you got trapped into your mind thinking, and that helps with meditation. When you observe your thoughts, if you have repetitive thoughts, you recognize them. You're like, oh, I already had this before, and you don't attach to it. So when you do this kind of thing, when something happens and you're really in the situation or whatever the scene is, or something that's happening that it's needing your attention to be present, and you using the mind to um, help you solve the whatever the riddle or the problem in the moment is, then you don't react. You're choosing how to be in that moment. You don't just go with whatever your first instinct is. And that's also a byproduct of observing your thoughts or meditating. Ultimate goal is to be able to just be empty and there's nothing in the mind. Just there's no thoughts going on. And again, as I was talking about different types of practices based on the different types of minds, you can do different types of practices. You can do concentration when you don't, you concentrate in the space between the thoughts. So that space lengthened.
The gap.
And
Yep.
because like whatever you give your mind concentrate on, like say you want to find yellow color cars, your mind will always grab it and show you all those yellow cars. So if you
Yep.
sit and being present and you concentrate in the space and you tell your mind, this is important to me, I want the quiet in between the thoughts, then that's going to lengthen and lengthen and lengthen. And then you're going to realize every time there's a thought. The same way, every time something comes up to your mind, again, you can choose how you want to be in that moment instead of just purely reacting in the situation. Um,
Well, something that I love that you say is choice, right? And look, no matter how you slice it, we have free will. We get to have any experience we want anytime. That
mhm.
is a gift of creation. We get to co-create whatever we want. And that is where I encourage people to get curious. What am I experiencing? Does it feel yummy? Does it feel excited? Do you like to be in this experience or not? And if you don't, give yourself a new choice. If you don't like the thoughts that are coming up for you, give yourself permission to start to do breath work. That's immediately going to regulate you. You're going to be present, right? And then you won't attach to thoughts. Or, to Yanko's point, play with different practices that will support you in eventually
Yeah,
getting to,
yeah.
infinite peace, which is
Well,
a blissed
or
out state.
journal, get empty that stuff into paper. Once it's on paper, the mind knows like, oh, there's nothing I need to worry about because it's already written down, and whoop, it goes off the
Yep.
mind. I mean, there's so many methods in different things. Concentration, you can just sit and concentrate on nothing, just sitting and concentrating in an object, something you're looking at, like a vase, or you just kind of gaze at it, and you don't react anything that happens. If thought comes in, you go back to just gazing. You don't pay attention to it, and eventually that power will run off and it'll just be quiet. It's a weird state to be. When there's nothing, it's almost like you were there but you weren't there, and it's weird. I mean, once people start experimenting with those things, a whole new reality opens up for them. A whole new way of being opens up, which is, at least to me, it's really awesome. So yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and that's the thing is, you and I, these are the experiences that we really enjoy. Somebody else may not even want to consider being in a space where there's nothing, and that's okay too. But what I would encourage people to do is, again, if we hold the power for this human experience, which we do, where we were created in creation, we exist in creation, and we co-create with creation, then play until you have the experience that feels good for you. I was engaging in conversation with an individual yesterday who their default phrase is "I think, I think, I think," and they're working to change that narrative. And so they catch it, but then they're in judgment for saying "I think." And what I shared with them, and this is what I would encourage anybody to realize, the just awareness is
Right,
that's
right
all you have
on.
to worry about. Like, you don't have
Yeah.
to, yeah, it's, you don't have to do anything else. I just said "I think," and then keep it moving. The judgment actually makes it more
Yep.
persistent, because now you're making an assumption about whether it's good, bad, right, wrong, there's something wrong with you, you need to get, instead just, "Oh, I said "I think," and keep it moving. And for me, not everybody, and I shared this with Lindsay today, if I catch myself in a thought process that is fear driven, I say ego, right? It's my ego driving me. I'll be like, "Oh, I see you, ego trying to stop my," I'll just start singing to it randomly. It doesn't even have to make sense. And immediately I'm in flow because I love to sing. That's a zone of joy for me. And there's no judgment. It's just more like, I see you, but now
That's
let's sing
that's
and
how
we're
it
gonna keep
is.
it
I
pushing.
usually laugh when something happens, and I'm like, "Oh, that again." You're coming
Yeah.
back to remind me of this part of myself. Cool, thank you.
Yeah. 100,
Yeah.
100%. I yeah. But on an entirely different note, me and my girls got piercings, and Carrie's very excited. She pierced her nose. And my girls were super excited, Yanko, because they got black eyes. So they both pierced their eyebrow, and the piercer was like, "There's a possibility that you're gonna get a
Right.
black eye." And both of them were like, "Yes!" And I'm like, "Why would you want a black eye?" And they're like, "Well, that's cool." I'm like, "I guess it's better than actually getting punched in the face and having a black
Sure.
eye." But that was the experience that
I
they
mean,
wanted,
you
and they
get
both got black
you get
eyes
what
for it,
you
and we're
want.
super happy about it.
You get what you want. Yeah.
But I do want to revisit and highlight a very important piece that you said that is spot on. Our brain has a reticular activating system. It's in the prefrontal cortex, right? And to Yanko's point, if you direct your brain to find something, it can't not find it. Your brain literally is hardwired to seek what it is you're looking for. And that's why I encourage people a couple things. One, get clear on what you want to find, because if you're waddling, right? "Oh, I want this, but no, I think I want this, and then I want this." Right? That can feel really messy. It's You're not going to do that at a high-end restaurant. But also then too, for me, every morning, I just train my brain. I set an intention. Now mine is more broad at this point. But in the past, when I was working on changing the experiences I had, my intention is to find the good in every situation today. My intention is to be open to a new possibility, things like that. And so what happens is I'm training my brain to seek that. And then when I close myself off to the possibility, because I set that intention in the morning, my brain's like, but you said you want to be open to a new possibility. And then I just, that's right. Thank you so much. And that's why intentions can be really beneficial for people. If you're looking to find anything, whatever it is you want is easily accessible. You have to be able to, yeah, I encourage you, you don't have to do anything. Let's course correct that. You can do whatever you want. But I encourage you to give yourself permission to train your brain to look for your greatest desires.
I mean, if you one exercise you can do is to sit in if everything it's already meant for you. Oh, thank you. If everything, if all your needs are met, like say you have shelter, money, whatever you want it, like if you don't have to work for, if everything you're secure for life, what would be the one thing you would like love to do? Something that doesn't involve money, something that brings you joy. And usually then you find out what's the best thing, like what's underneath all this other crap that's going on in your head,
Yeah.
and that comes up. I mean, you might not get anything right away, but to go back to what you were saying, I'll give you a perfect example with me. Done IT work and stuff, and I had to remember a lot of passwords for computers and other things. And I'm sitting in one, and I forgot the password. And usually, I don't write them down because, that's passwords 101. You don't want them somewhere so somebody can get him and copy or whatever. You don't write him down in piece of paper or anything. And so I'm getting frustrated, and I'm sitting in the front of the computer, and I can't get this password to open this document that hit like text files, other things that it's locked. And I just go like, all right, well, come to me. And I just stop and I leave it at that. And I just go, I'm going to do something else. When the time is done and when everything has to get done and my brain finds the password, I'll know what it is. And I go on with my day and I forget about it. 3 days later, I'm driving down the road and I'm listening to music. Boop, the password comes up. and
Yep. Well,
I'm like, oh, now I know what
yeah,
it is. Wow, it
but
took you 3 days.
that's surrender. And that's not having an expectation of when you're going to receive what it is you need, right? That is super true. And where I encourage individuals that I have conversations with, if you tell yourself that you don't want to know, you won't know. And so for me, I've had to be open to so I always say, I'm open to receive the insights that will guide me to greater peace, greater love, greater whatever.
Yeah, keep going. I wanted to bring out this comment.
Can you meow? Wow, what a good day for some treats. What kind of treats? Because I like cheesecake with strawberries, a flourless, decadent dark chocolate cake, um, Nana, of course, definitely Nana. No, but seriously, going back to we, if we just, again, my favorite phrase is always, I am open to receive whatever is in the highest good for all. And I suspend what I think I know, because then I'm open to all insights, all possibilities, all whatever. And in that, I gain what it is I need in that moment, or what it is, whatever that's going to support me in that moment.
That's right. It's weird how it works, and you get the answers not from like a your instinct or brain or whatever. It's like a deeper knowing, and you know.
Yeah. Well,
uh,
so here's the other thing I want to share with the listening audience. So, so I was having conversations with individuals and I answered questions that they had without them asking me the question. And that's when you're in flow. Like, I don't have to know why things come up. I don't make up stories about why. So, for example, my hairdresser. I was in her chair a couple days ago, and yesterday I'm making my bed, and no BS. Like, I had this massive insight around my hairdresser. So I texted her and I asked her, I said, listen, I just gained this insight. No sweat off my neck if you don't want me to share it, but do I have permission to share with you what came up for me? And that could be and usually it is. So I'm not even gonna say it's a thing that they are working on themselves without me knowing. But because we're connected synergistically, I can provide them with what they've already asked to receive. I'm just a channel. And our egoic mind will try to convince you that you have to make sense, that you can't say it, whatever. And I think Yanko and I are in a similar understanding at this point. I don't make up a story. If it comes up, I'm going to ask permission. If you tell me to share, I'm going to share it, and it is what it is, and then I keep moving. And
that's
that
right.
is Like, and that's where telepathy and all this
Well,
stuff
you
is.
yeah.
Yes.
I mean, I won't call it like anything else. The human experience require you to use certain descriptions or ideas or names for different things, and you're one with the whole.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So if you one with the whole, there's no telepathy going on. You're part
I
of
mean,
it.
it's true.
Like there's no. I mean, but we call it telepathy or something else or insight. And in to call it truth, you know, you mirroring like you're sending out whatever. The other mirrors it back to you. So
Yep.
she might have sent it to you. You mirror back. You had the inside. It doesn't matter how it's gonna come back to her. She set the intention or whatever, and there it goes. If she's
Yeah.
open, she'll get it. If not, not. It's really simple.
Well, it's so interesting because so many people, thank me for holding space for them and stuff. I'm like, well, here's the thing. You couldn't be in this space if you weren't meant to be here to gain whatever it is you're
Right.
meant to gain in the first place. So you should be thanking yourself, not me. And it's true. And I have a lot of people, don't get me wrong. I don't need to be affirmed. I know that sounds like I don't care. It's not that I don't care. It's just that you're giving yourself the gift by being open to receive whatever's unfolding. You're doing that. I just happen to be in your time and space with you as you are open to receive whatever it is that is guiding you to whatever you put out there that you want to experience.
I really don't care.
I know you
I'm
say
gonna
you
be
don't.
honest. Me, the one that I think I am, I really don't care.
Well, so that's the thing, your soul doesn't care, but ego will, and you do have an ego, and listen, I've heard you say you're sorry and all this, and that's what I want the listening audience to really understand. Yanko can have achieved all of this peace and bliss, but he still has an ego that he
That's
operates
right.
in.
That's
Kerri
right.
can be
Yeah.
in bliss and all this, but I still have an ego, and so do not for one second think that yes, on one hand, Yanko and I can truly say we don't care because we really understand that it doesn't matter. But on the other hand, of course, there's ego, and I'm like, oh, stroke that ego. Oh yeah, it's just that I'm not interested in feeding it, and I'd rather, for me, remind the individual in front of me their power because I know mine. So let me be that mirror to you to remind you that you placed yourself in this sauna or gym or whatever with me, and you are open to having the experience to gain more insight or grow or whatever it is whatever you've asked to find, you will find.
Yeah. But no, seriously, like I'm in a place where I really don't care. Like, I understand that thinking of things or trying to solve somebody's problems is just going to be a mental gymnastic. Like, I don't live their
100%.
life. I don't have the whole story. I, I really don't know what's going on. If I have an insight and here we are, we hold space, that's fine. Then after that's done, boom, 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 it's like never happened to me. You know what I mean? I keep, I
Yeah,
keep
yeah,
going.
so let's rephrase it. It's not that you don't care, you're not attached to it. You
Right,
know what I mean?
right,
There's no
yeah,
attachment to it.
right,
And that's
right.
kinda like yesterday, I was telling you that I was at the laundromat doing and I walked into this insanely cool experience, and in that moment, I was provided the exact thing I needed, and then I just kept on. I'm like, "Oh, well, that was cool," and, there's not an attachment to understand it, or it's just it is. And I also trust, because I do trust that everything is in flow, that that experience was in the highest good for all. I just trust that.
It's yeah, it's a different experience. You get the experience like, oh, cool. You know, I had the experience, and you move on. And um, there's no clinging to like good or bad or anything. It's just whatever it is, and not trying to even describe it or say, oh, this was good or bad. Like, I don't know. It
No,
felt okay.
it I'm gonna tell you right now, it was fucking cool. That's all I'm saying. I'm gonna cling to defining it because I want to. And that's the beautiful thing too, listening audience. We have free will. And Yanko and I talk about this all the time. He and I are in different spaces where I my ego, I wants to convey like good, bad, right, wrong. And I'm totally okay with being in that space and having it. And Yanko's like, I don't care. And he's totally okay with being in that space. And both are exactly perfection. There's no right or wrong. It just is.
Mm. Yeah, and we also practice what we preach. Um, if I have to share something with Kira, I'll be like, "Hey, do you want me to share or not?" And she goes like, "Nope." And I'm like, "Okay, fine." You ask for permission. It's like, "Nope." Okay, that's fine.
Yep.
Yeah.
100%. And I really do. I mean, I appreciate that. That's just, and again, we have 8 billion different perspectives, so 8 billion different understandings of things. And I was talking to Lindsay yesterday. Our connection with creation is so personal, right? It's very,
That's right.
very, it is so intimate that there's no possible way that I could ever, nor do I want to understand Yanko's experience with creation. But I don't need to. What for me feels good is to have that own experience and trust that that works for me and I'm good with that. And it's I was talking to an individual yesterday who is a joiner. They are constantly joining things. They join a networking
Hmm.
group. They join this thing and this thing and this thing, which is totally fine. That's who they are. That feels good for them. But I shared with them, for me, I'm gonna do it on my own. Like, I would rather co-create in creation in this experience without joining. And I'll tell you why. So, for example, I I have some really, really, really lofty goals. My ego has lofty goals. Nobody knows them. None, because I'm not interested in the energy that I feel when somebody tells me, even, and this has happened to me in the past, guys. This is why I'm very, very, very particular about my circle and what I tell even people in my circle. I'll tell them something and oh yeah, you got this, but I feel their energy and they're like, you don't got it. So why am I going to even subject myself to their perspective energetically? I just don't. So I don't join stuff and I do what feels right for me. And I have definitely been given the label as the crazy Titi, the crazy family member, and whatever. But I'm totally fine with it because I feel so good about what feels so good for me that doesn't matter how I'm perceived by anybody else. And yet, I also know I contend with ego. So I protect that by not sharing with the people what it is I'm dreaming because I don't want to have to do that, to your point about other people in their lives trying to figure it out. I'm like, I don't want to do it. So I don't even put myself in a position to have to.
Yeah. And I like how you said, they say the body says one thing, but you feel something else. It's like, no, no, they're not happy about
100. Well, that's
that.
why, listen, I don't care who you are, how quote unquote out of touch you are. We all feel people's energy, right? As you continue to do this work, it becomes much more pronounced. Like, it's like, you if I'm around somebody with anxiety, me and Yanko talk about this all the time. I feel their anxiety. I'm like, God damn, like they going through it. And then I'm like, that's not me. But we all have those feelings. And so know your audience. I think so often this is what I see individuals do. They share with somebody who over the course of their relationship with a person has proven to them over and over again that they cannot hold space for them, support them, whatever. And yet we continue to share expecting a different result. Instead, change your audience or don't share it, because all you're doing is causing yourself misery. And that's why I, again, going back to, I am very, very selective with the people I share things with, and the people who I hang around with most, because I just am protective of my peace. And it's interesting, I was telling Yanko offline, my best friend has never been to my house until yesterday, and I've known her for years. Never. She's never seen my room, never. And that's the thing, is I am totally fine with being in my space, in my place, in my energy, and being perfectly at peace.
I mean, you don't have to explain yourself, but sure.
You're
I
so
was gonna
funny.
say, I know. I mean, like, usually it is what it is. So at least to me, like, I know, maybe
You
the
and I
viewers and the
know that,
audience are.
but most people operate from ego. They do. They just operate from ego. And so having an understanding that they can, which is a whole nother story for another show, because I'm not even going to get into that. But the reality is I don't feel the need to explain myself, and it feels really good because I don't have to worry about the energy of others around the things that feel good for me.
Well, you're already doing some kind of practice. And usually, when people do some kind of practice, their energy feels around them. It changes. And so, if you're bringing crap out and you're chaotic and you're doing this on your own, you don't want to be bringing people in that space anyway. So maybe subconsciously, you just keep it clean for yourself so that there's nobody else entangled in the mess. That's not like really ready to take on this kind of stuff. um I don't know, it's different experience. I've talked to people that say once you start working on yourself and your energy picks up, and it usually picks up because you're not wasting the energy and like looping thoughts, other things. You're very selective where you put your energy. If you're using it to create, you're just not like using it as excess and you just throw it away everywhere. So once you start having that energy around you and everything, and that will start affecting people that are around the same way as people that are around saints back in history and other things. They feel the calmness, they feel their presence, they feel all that stuff. So, something to think about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that a real spider plant?
No. Everything you see, it's fake.
Oh, that's actually, you know
Even
what?
me.
That's a Christmas cactus.
Everything, it's fake. Even me. I am a hologram in your mind.
Ooh. Anything
Well,
else
but
coming
but
up?
all seriousness though, like all the experiences that we're getting from the body, we already do with our mind, and we process it. And this is why when you have a dream, it's so realistic, because in a dream you see with your eyes what you think are your eyes, but you're in the dream and you touch things and you experience it, and everything is so real, but it's not attached to a body. I mean, to an actual body. So your brain does all that stuff, you just don't know it. Yeah. So cool.
It is cool.
I get excited about that.
I'm just sitting in energy at this point. So, I mean, I'm always sitting in energy, but you know what I mean.
I mean, of course. I mean, you're here, so if that feels good, then do it. Nothing's wrong with that.
Okay, well, I'm gonna bounce. This has been great, guys, and I'll check you on the flip side.
Sure. All right. We'll see you next time.